Yeah. Hi guys. Today another important topic from the respiration. There is a question every year relevant to the brain or the neural control system about it can be control all systems, that is physiology topics, either respiration, circulation, excretion and chemical coordination, locomotion and movements. These physiological topics, human physiology, are all under control of the brain, right? Brain can regulate every system, okay? So, in the respiration also, brain can control the respiration. Of course, if any sudden things happen, your heartbeat increase, your breathing increase, the breathing time will be decrease, mean the how many times you can breathe per minute is change, okay? In the normal condition, what happened in the normal condition, the breathing is 12 to 15, 12 to 16 times can breathe in normal conditions. In normal conditions, 12 to 16 times per minute, okay, per minute can breathe in normal condition. Of course, there is a change going to happen if any things happen, like the brain can control the breathing. If any situation, any emergency situation, your breathing can control by brain itself, okay. Yeah, there is a question, okay, which one of the organ, which one of the brain part can regulate breathing? Which one of the brain part can regulate breathing? This is previous year NEET question. NEET PYQ. This is NEET PYQ. Yeah, there is a options: hypothalamus, midbrain, hindbrain, cerebrum. This is the PYQ, guys. This is PYQ NEET. Which part of the brain can regulate the breathing? Okay. Here you must know hypothalamus role. You must know what is midbrain, what is hindbrain, what is cerebrum. Okay. The functions, it is, of course, these parts comes under neural control and coordination, but in the breathing and gas exchange of gases also there are parts which are involved for the breathing of this regulation of breathing. Guys, we will discuss about it, okay? Yeah. Hi guys, in online, any doubts, let me know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we are going to discuss what is brain parts involved in the regulation of breathing. Regulation of breathing, okay. Who can regulate the parts of brain? Of course, there is brain parts which is cerebrum, This is forebrain which is connected to the midbrain, midbrain connected to the hindbrain, hindbrain. This is finally leads to the spinal cord. Spinal cord. If come to the cerebrum, there is two parts. This is third ventricle, third ventricle, third ventricle. Above third ventricle, there is a part which is epithalamus. Epithalamus. Middle the third ventricle, there is a thalamus. Thalamus. And below third ventricle, this is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. Below the hypothalamus, there is a gland, pituitary gland. This is two bilobed gland, pituitary gland. Pituitary gland. This is epithalamus, we can call pineal gland. Pineal gland. The role of these parts, you guys come to know. Pineal gland, it is about sleeping hormone for the circadian rhythm. They can maintain sleeping hormone. This so pineal gland can regulate the sleeping and circadian rhythm, the daytime and night time. Guys, it is the hormone can regulate the sleep and they can create a melanin. Okay, melanin useful for the sleeping. Of course, cerebrum, there is another part which is thalamus. It is the relay center. Analytical part of the somatic nervous system and motor nervous system. Okay, analytical part which is thalamus. Hypothalamus, of course, they can produce the releasing hormones and inhibitory hormones for the pituitary. Pituitary is, there is a stored and they can release hormone and some synthesized hormones also there in the pituitary. If come to the midbrain, midbrain is corpora quadrigemina. It is about visionary and listen, sensory signals of the visionary and auditory. Okay, it can be controlled. But if come to the hindbrain, hindbrain can regulate the breathing. Regulate the breathing, hindbrain. Hindbrain can regulate the breathing, hindbrain can regulate the heart rate. Okay, this is the most important for emergency reactions. Hindbrain has such a parts, I will write here this side. Hindbrain. Hindbrain has two parts. Such part, one is pons and another one is medulla. Medulla. So, there are neurons, there are bunch of neurons, mean bundle of neurons are located in the hindbrain called medulla. Medulla. there are bundle of neurons are located in the pons or two places, bundle of neurons located in the pons, two places. This is two places. Guys, these two places are different: pneumotoxic area, apneustic area. This is pneumotoxic and this is apneustic center. This medulla has center, this center we can call medullary rhyme center, medullary all over this pons and medulla we can call medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata can regulate the breathing. Breathing is what? Next, what is breathing? Breathing, you know mechanism of breathing, right? Mechanism of breathing you know. So, what is breathing? Mechanism of breathing you know. That is breathing oxygen rich air intake and carbon dioxide rich air can release. Okay. What are the parts involved in the breathing? Mechanism of breathing, it is the physical process. Going to take place in the thoracic chamber. What are the parts in the thoracic chamber? What are the parts? That is the part which is vertebral column, first part. Which is thoracic vertebrae up to the T12, up to the T12, T1 to T12, thoracic vertebrae. And next is sternum, and third is ribs. These are the skeletal system which are comes under the this thoracic chamber, skeletal system. So, how many skeletals are there? 37 skeletals. 37 skeletal are involved in the breathing. This is the skeletal system which is going to involve in the mechanism of breathing, and two different muscles also involved. What are the muscles? Muscles, different muscles are, fourth one, that is intercostal muscles, between ribs, and diaphragm. diaphragm. These muscles, skeletal muscles also involve. Muscles also involve in the breathing. Breathing nothing but the contraction, inhale mean contraction, exhale mean relaxation. Contraction and relaxation of these muscles contraction and relax of these muscles is breathing. Okay, guys, just cool, you can understand this. These centers which are in hand brain can regulate this system, thoracic chamber, this brain, this hand brain, these guys, these parts, they can regulate these guys, these parts. Okay, so breathing nothing but the contraction, it is intake of oxygen, relax mean release of carbon dioxide gas. Okay, intake of oxygen can contract these muscles, and ribs they can expand, and anterior posterior thoracic cavity can be increased. So in that condition, it is active process consume energy. Who can regulate? Medulla. Guys, if any breathing is going to take place, if the breathing continues, this, if it is like inhale the oxygen, mean breathing going to take place, they can, oxygen can reach alveolus, oxygen can reach alveolus when inhalation, when inhalation. When inhalation, okay, oxygen can reach alveolus. It is continue process, oxygen can reach inhalation. There is a chance to, there is a break of this alveolus bag, like alveolus walls, they can break if the continue inhalation going to take place. When inhalation going to take place, the intercostal muscle or diaphragm contract. This is the medulla rhyme center. Medulla rhyme center give positive signal this intercostal muscle, or this positive signal mean if they can give the positive signal, medullary rhyme center, this oxygen can fill, inhalation going to take place, oxygen can fill. Okay, this, if the oxygen can fill continuously, there is a damage of alveolus wall. So how much time it will take positive signal into this intercostal muscle? Mean if the positive signal, if they give, this intercostal muscle and ribs, they can contract, contraction of intercostal muscle and diaphragm. Diaphragm. In this condition, what happened? There is a time, how much time they can contract. Okay, there is a time scale. I am going to give the time scale. They can contract how much time? Mean it will it will take contraction, it will take 2 seconds only. After that, the contraction will be decreased and there is a negative signals going to pass this muscles. Who can give the negative signals? Mean there is a pneumotoxic center, they can give the negative signal to this, negative signal to give the thoracic chamber. These muscle, intercostal muscle and diaphragm and ribs, they can take the negative signals from the pons which is pneumotoxic center. In this condition, there is a relax of this and CO2 is exit out. So they can regulate, they can protect the damage of alveolar sac if it is filled. How much time it will take? It will take, the relax will take 3 seconds. Okay? Yeah, there is a negative signals which is give to this. So in this condition, relax, these guys relax. Relax time, how much time it will take? 3 seconds. 3 seconds, there is a relaxation going to take place. Got it? After relax, need another inhalation, right? If the gas exit out, need another inhalation, right? Need breathing. It will take breathing again. Who can activate again to breathing? That is, there is a apneustic center. They can give the positive signal. This. So again contraction is going to take place. It will take 2 seconds again. Again oxygen enter into the alveolar sac. Again pneumotoxic center activate, again to CO2 exit out. Okay. This is what the medulla and pons, they can regulate the breathing. This is medullary oblongata. Medulla oblongata, nothing but there are 2 parts, medulla and pons. In the medulla, there is a neuron bunch. This is the neuron bunch called medullary rhyme center. There are particular neurons. Neurons can regulate something, right? Neuron can actionate something, right? Here in the medulla, there is a medullary rhyme center that can be give the positive signal to the thoracic chamber for the mechanism of breathing. If they give the positive signal, there is a contraction of this medullary, like intercostal muscle and diaphragm and ribs, they can activate, give the inhalation. If it is inhalation continue, there is a chance of alveolar sac damage. In that condition, after 2 seconds, there is a pneumotoxic center which is in the pons. They can activate and give the negative signals into this thoracic chamber. That leads to the oxygen which is distributed into the blood, and as well carbon dioxide will remove from the alveolus to protect. In that condition, again after 3 seconds, there is a oxygen need for the next breathing. It is started from the apneustic center. These 3 centers, they can regulate this thoracic chamber for the breathing, inhalation and exhalation to protect the lungs. Okay, guys, this is the regulation of breathing. I hope you guys understand. Take a screenshot this. Okay. Yeah, this is what the medulla, which is pons or under the hindbrain. There is a centers in the medulla oblongata, which is apneustic center and pneumostatic center in the pons, and there is a dorsal respiratory group, which is medulla has medullary rhyme center. They can regulate diaphragm and intercostal muscle. Okay, this is positive signal and negative signal via medullary oblongata. Okay, this is all over about the regulation of breathing, guys. I hope you guys understand this topic well. Okay, we will continue into the next topic in the next session. Thank you.